join in, whoever is available. Okay. So how was your experience this week? Let's hear some sharing and share some results. What's that? What's that? Some aeroplane or?
Downward trend.
No aeroplane.
Okay, share your experience. Share your experience.
On a downward trend, I see. Yeah, because I was like really drained yesterday for one.
On your graph, you can see a curve on the graph.
I checked my graph actually. Yeah, but it's -2 or -7 from last week. I know.
Okay, all right, good.
Good.
Okay, good in a way that you know what's going on, right? So obviously the graph records or somewhat the algorithm tracks the activities and people who view you and stuff like that. Okay, it's just for you to take note, right? So that you know how much engagement are you putting onto your LinkedIn lah, basically, right? So it's just something to be aware of. It's not good or bad, right or wrong, but at least you know, right? You know how much work you put in, so the graph shows that. So
okay.
Good lah.
I'm going to join through my phone because then at least I can use the computer to look at stuff. I hope you all don't mind. Yeah, but can continue, yeah.
Yeah, you can just go through your screen quickly and then come back. We can still see you even if you go to your other screen. That's fine. And Andreas.
Yes, man.
How was your experience last week?
Right now, see Sherin double, so I'm feeling drunk.
Don't blame me for it, okay?
I think in one of those you gotta switch off the audio.
Yeah.
Sherin.
The other one, hang on, let me.
Why don't you just keep it on the computer, Sherin?
Wait, 1 minute.
Why don't you just maintain the computer, Sherin? I suggest you maintain it on the computer.
Yes, sir.
Because the phone usually it kind of like echoes a bit. So
Okay, how do I? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
That sounds a lot better. If you need to look at your screen, just flip through and then you can come back because we can still see your face, so that's fine. Yes, back to Andreas.
Yes, okay.
Yes, my friend.
I copied out those dashboard and profile view statistics that LinkedIn gives me, and it also goes down. So the who viewed my profile has gone down by 20 people.
Okay.
Post views gone down by 300. Search appearances gone down by 42.
Okay.
But who viewed my profile? Apparently, it's gone up. Apparently, I have no idea where this conflicting numbers. Oh, no, 30% down. Yes, also 30% down.
Okay.
Hold on, no. Actually, who viewed my profile? It says now it has conflicting numbers. This one says 14% up from last week. So one says down and one says up.
Okay. All right. Good. So, what do you make out of all this data that you have? So you can see some of the graphs going up, some of the graphs going down. People viewing your profile. What's your experience of it, or what's your take on it?
Sherin, you go first.
Yeah. Whoever. There's only 3 of us here, so it's Derrick is probably listening.
Derrick joined in as well, yeah.
Actually, I was trying to figure out where are my figures. Who viewed profile? Do I go to dashboard or what? Where's the graph?
Dashboard, yeah, dashboard lah.
Yeah.
Dashboard lah.
Yes.
Let me close my curtain because I realize it goes darker and brighter. Hold on.
So what's your experience?
Okay, I have -7% since last week.
Okay.
It's dropped, yeah. Everything is so slow as the Zoom is going on. I can't even open things.
It's okay.
It's not even up and out. Okay, my experience.
Alice like
Yeah, your experience, your experience.
I got nothing to say lah.
Huh?
Nothing to say. But it was quite interesting. Oh, I must share this experience with you guys.
Okay, okay, all right.
So on Saturday night, I was with some friends.
Okay.
We were eating and drinking.
Uh-huh.
And I decided to tell them how important LinkedIn is. I don't know what made me start there.
Okay.
And so I think my friend thought I had a lot of knowledge on LinkedIn. He's a doctor.
Uh-huh.
The next day, he got his CEO to call me.
Awesome. Awesome.
So the CEO now is chasing me, and I don't know what he went and told, and he told out of the world stuff. I'm like, oh yeah. Actually, I don't know.
Oh, very good. So how do you feel? How do you feel?
It was nice, lah. It was good, especially because I spoke to him about LinkedIn and how important it was. He's Dr. Navdeep.
Ah, okay.
Dr. Navdeep. We have known each other for the longest time, and I never got any business from him. That night, we were sitting down, and I was talking to him about LinkedIn, and even another doctor, and talking about customer service and all. It led to that lah.
Okay, all right. Very good. Very good. So,
he is a convert already, so that's not counted.
Yeah, he's been Derrick-fied.
Yeah,
but still well done.
So here, basically, what you have is a typical conversation opener, which is a subject. I mean, imagine if you're just talking about Facebook, would it lead to something like this? Might not, right? But suddenly you're talking about LinkedIn, why it's important for companies, for businesses, and all that, and then suddenly it leads to some other things that you can offer. So
it was mainly a conversation on LinkedIn and customer service lah.
Okay, very good, very good. Congratulations, congratulations. Yeah.
Let's hope it works first, because the other client that I told you about just sent me an email today. Oh, oil prices are dropping, and we are stopping all our trainings because of COVID. I'm like, very good.
Fine, that's fine. You know.
So yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll touch on the COVID shortly. Maybe also Derrick can jump in. Andreas, what about yours? Any experience? What was your experience this week playing on LinkedIn?
People started to reach out to me from HR, from my target group actually, plus some old connections, plus some people I think they know me, but I can't remember them anymore, so I have to place very carefully. I'm in the business for so many years, I don't know everybody anymore. People change and their profile picture looks different from when I met them in person, of course, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I take it easy. I just chit chat and talk to them as if they would be my longest friend ever, and just play around like this, and it goes well.
So how would this experience be different from what you have had before, either on platforms or even on LinkedIn?
I think it's I had some people who try to sell something to me.
Already? All right.
Insurances.
Yeah, very good.
And unit trust and all that. So, and I'm always asking them, does it really work? Or I just ignore them, basically speaking.
Or you can send them the link to my preview. Ask them to come.
Basically, yeah, I was thinking so as well. Yes, if they come back overall, I thought like next time I'll just send them over and say like, hey, if you really want to know how to work LinkedIn, go to this guy over there and check it out. So, it's good. At least there's feedback coming. I get good feedback from the postings I had. I had some controversial postings. So people start reaching out. Old friends start reaching out. Former clients start reaching out. My very, 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 very first boss in Malaysia reached out to me as well.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So what is this an example of?
Activity creates results.
Pardon?
Activity creates results.
Okay, good. That's one. There's one thing that I mentioned in the class, if you remember.
I think you asked as well, how does it compare to Facebook? And I think Facebook, It's much more on a casual level. Conversations trigger out very soon, while in LinkedIn it's more business. It is always like at the edge of going business related.
It's still casual, right? It's still casual.
It's still casual, but it's somewhat more business related overall. It's like more work related. What are you doing? Kind of conversations overall, and it's like always getting to the age of like, continue to probe. I have not pushed yet on that one. I want people to come to me and check it out if they are willing to do that. So the question, I think also, I think Sherin asked it last week, when do we start telling them, hey, I'm the great trainer, I want to invite me over for a presentation? When do we start that?
Okay, so on that note, would you also be able to casually go into that topic?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
After it's like a normal conversation, and sooner or later I ask them about that one. So
Andreas, can I give you a suggestion for your business?
Sure.
I'm thinking like how L does, the Popcorn Group does, they invite people for a preview. Maybe that's a way you would want to do yours, because you are the subject matter itself. So you can actually invite them for a preview too. Free preview, it's free.
We had previews before. We went off from it because we can't control who then signs up to our class. We are very juicy in finding the right participants. Okay. So we want to interview people before they come to our class and know them inside out if they're the right, appropriate participants. So we went off from that one.
Okay.
That's where probably you have stage 2 of getting them to fill up the form, because there will be an interview before you can sign up for the class.
True, but it's tiring, you know.
It's business. You bring me in, I'll sit behind and wait for you.
You do the setting for me.
Okay, so good. So Sherin had an actual conversation with somebody about LinkedIn and all that, and that turned into maybe some level of warm prospecting. Nothing serious yet, but we're quite casually talking about it. And for Andreas, you're connecting with people and casually having that conversation. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. So fine. If your business model, you choose not to do previews and all that, but now you can actually see a different format, right?
I think, I'm a BNI member just like you are, and I see actually LinkedIn can replace BNI.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I look forward to no longer getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but it takes time to build up that network overall.
Yeah, of course. It takes time. So if you remember what I mentioned, it's all about building relationship, and it takes time.
Exactly.
It takes time. Yeah. So
serious game.
It's a serious game. It's really about building your business. So don't look at it as a way you need to rush. I mean, the stats are good. The stats are good. If you're not active that week, it gives you a prompt and you can say to yourself, oh, okay, I didn't put in much effort. I was busy doing something else and all that. But at least, you're aware. You can always put in the effort this week and look at the numbers.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted. You notice certain people who view your profile?
Yes, I was just about to go there. What's your question?
My question is, so they viewed your profile, but they didn't add you. So what do we do?
Okay.
Why?
So you remember the script?
Me, but you're not adding me. Why?
They don't like you.
Do you remember the script?
Yes, it's right here.
Okay, what's the script?
That you...
What does it say? If somebody views your profile and did not connect, what can you say?
Hey, why you check me out? Oh yeah, I said that also during the thing. Starting it's not in this, right?
It's there. I think it's the third one.
The third one is went to same university, starting out in business, continue conversation, and direct prospecting.
What's that? I think it's there, one of it. Continue conversation?
Indirect prospecting, is it?
The continue conversation?
Continue conversation is Connection request, accept.
We can see
I
you.
appreciate you reached out to connect. Looking forward to engage, but they didn't connect. I noticed that you came up in my profile views list. Oh.
Okay. So you did not read the script.
I did. I just forgot.
Yeah. So that's what we can do. So some people check us out, right? So there are two types. Those who have already connected with us, right? But maybe you did not have a conversation. Okay. So now that they came up, you can start a conversation with them because those are already warmed up, right? Because you have a lot of connection from way before when you started, whatever 1,000 numbers and all that, and for you to go right down, it's going to take you some time, right? But if they view you within the, let's say the last couple of days, so it's already warmed up because they have seen your profile. So that would be a good conversation starter. Hey, saw you looking at my profile. You know, what made you check me out? You know, just a
Wouldn't
casual
that be
conversation.
scary, actually? Wow, I find
I
out
actually
that
ask. I mean, you can word it nicely.
Why are you stalking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
don't say.
Al, how do people react to you when you come up with that script and you ask them, hey, I saw that you checked me out and how come you don't like me, you don't add me?
No. Okay, so
How do they react when you asking them, why didn't you add me?
okay, so there are two types, right? One are those people who you have already connected to, but probably you have not had a conversation, right? So that's one. So that one you can immediately just say, hey, I see that we've connected and I saw you come up in my profile search, but we have not actually connected. So perhaps, we can have a chat or, hey, just a quick, I'm curious, what made you look at my profile? Right? So that's one type. Okay. So another one is those that view you but you have not connected. They've not connected with you, right? So now you have to make a call. So you have to connect to them because you can't send them unless you're on premium. You can send them an email. Yeah. So if you're not on premium, then you can connect with them and say, hey, I saw you come up in my profile, I saw that you looked at my profile, I'm just curious, what made you want to look at my profile, I'm also looking at your profile, perhaps we can connect and let's have a chat. So it is really like you meeting somebody at a networking event, right? Either you approach and say hi first or they approach you and say hi first, right?
Checking each other out across a bar.
Yeah. But somebody needs to take initiative to start the conversation.
Yeah, true.
And because we are more conscious of what we want to do on LinkedIn, so we need to make that first move. Because most people will not make the first move. They check you out, but that's it.
It's just life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's life. But that is exactly what is making you different from the rest of the people. Because other people also check each other out, but it's just left at that. Because they don't understand that you need to continue the conversation to lead it somewhere.
True.
Right?
So even if they are friends of ours and you notice them checking us out, we can also use the same script, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to copy bulat-bulat lah. You don't have to copy exactly, right? But that's a guide, and you use your own words to make it sound, to make it authentic lah, to make it you. How would you respond to somebody who looked at your profile?
Okay.
Right? So for example, I have both situations. I go out and talk to people, about LinkedIn and all that, and I notice that they will check me out after I speak to them. Couple of days, I check my LinkedIn. Hey, this was the person I spoke to, but he have not connected. Then I'll connect with them. Oh, see, it was good to meet you. I see that you've checked out my profile. Let's connect and let's have a chat. Or somebody came up and look at my profile again. Even if you know them, you suddenly see that they are looking at your profile. How does that make you feel?
I'm famous, man. They want to know something about me.
So that means, okay, they either want to know something about you or they are making reference to you, right? That means you must be doing something right.
Learning from us.
Yeah, correct. So that means that puts you somewhat at an authority level.
I have a couple of people, increasingly high number of people who check me out anonymously. I think these
Okay.
are
So that is because they adjust their setting to private.
yeah.
I mean,
Checking me out,
I also have that. But I guess people want to remain anonymous and a mystery and all that. We leave them be lah, you know.
Makes me
I
proud.
think, I think in the world of business, we also want to be open and transparent with people, you know. So unless you're already becoming somewhat very famous and very busy and all that, maybe you want to change that setting lah. But I think for now, while we're building our profile, while we're building our name and authority, it's good to be just open with people, so that people see that you are a trustworthy person. Don't have to adjust my privacy setting and all that. Like I'm very afraid to go on LinkedIn, but I want to go on LinkedIn, check people out, but I don't want people to look at me. Like it's like, to me, it's somewhat whatever they're thinking about lah. I don't want to judge them as well. But good experience. So those are things that you can do. Awesome. Any other question? Andreas, do you have a question?
No. It's one of the few moments in my life I don't have questions.
Usually you have questions. Okay.
Or it's my job.
Do you have another question? Do you have another question?
Who, me?
Yeah. And you have another question? No?
No, I was just connecting with someone.
Oh, later lah. Connect later lah. Oh, now also you want to connect. Excited.
Excited lah. Need the excitement to go sometimes.
Okay. So basically you have done the strategy of connecting with people, direct people, people who see your profile, you can connect with them. Have you connected with influencers from looking at other people's posting?
How to do that?
So some of your friends or people that you have connected to, sometimes when they post, their feed will come up on your homepage. Right? Okay, so you see somebody interesting and all that you are not connected to, and you want to connect with those people. Have you done that yet? Andreas, have you?
I've done, yeah.
Okay, all right. So what do you do? What do you do specifically so that Sherin can adopt your strategy?
I just appreciate the post and add on my 2 cents to their thoughts.
Okay, very good. And after that?
And it's quite interesting because these are some people from the US. So when they post, they appear to post when it's evening on my side and morning on their side.
Okay.
So which is good because I do know they get hundreds of comments, sometimes more. And my comments are pretty high up instantly. Like yesterday, I was the first one to comment. Okay. Most of the time, I'm number 20 or 15 around that time. So,
okay,
yeah, good stuff.
Very good.
But then I get people from the US who want to connect with me as well. Somebody specialized in the area of property development in Minnesota, and I have no idea. I don't want to connect with this person.
Okay, so that's a choice, huh? That's a choice.
Sure.
Unless you do work in that particular area. So you can actually comment with people, yeah, connect with them, and after that you can also send them a request connection, right? Okay, sure. It fits into your situation. So for example, I use that strategy very heavily. So sometimes you see that I am very quiet on LinkedIn in terms of my posts. Okay, so sometimes the last couple of days I did not. I think I only posted on Monday or Tuesday, and after that I was very quiet. But I'm always looking at other people's posts and commenting and connecting with other people that they mentioned in that particular post. Yeah. So for example, this week, I saw a post by a startup founder. Okay, and he had gone for a meeting. I will not mention names. He had gone to meet with the minister, okay, and he had two high-profile people with him in that picture, okay. So I made a comment on that particular post, okay, without making reference to any of the other people in the post, and I actually quickly went to their profile and checked it out, okay, and I personally sent them an email. Okay, these are high-profile people, so I sent them an email. And told them a little bit about what I do, the kind of outreach work I do. I teach students how to improve their LinkedIn, their profile picture and their profile banner. And so happened that they don't have a banner. And I actually told them, it'd be great if you can just spend some time to put up a banner. Okay, so I sent to two high-profile people. Okay, and I requested for connection. Okay, one of them responded and accepted my request. Okay, so what can I now do?
Ask him if he needs some help
Okay, so that's one, right? Okay, but this guy, he had a funny caption on his profile. He says, personal development and sharing, no business, please. Something like that. Okay, so but I had made a request and I mentioned about what I do, and he accepted me. So now, because he had that, so maybe I will gently share with him what I've done with my profile and maybe ask him to check it out lah. If he wants some tips and all that, I'll be glad to share some of my things. I can share a video with him and all that, right? So I want to be friends with him first because he stated clearly on his profile, no business. Yeah, but no business, a statement there does not mean he's not going to do business with me ever, right?
Okay, yeah.
Maybe he's not interested. He's making a bold statement for those unit trust agent, insurance agent and all that, that is going to spam his mail with, offers immediately, right? So my strategy would be, okay, so how do I now convince him in a nice way that if he were to do business, if he wanted to know about LinkedIn and all that, I'm the person to go to. So I need to warm him up. Yeah, so you can do those kind of things as well. So that's exactly what I actually did to this particular person. Okay, so that's the strategy that I adopt as well. Okay, so that's something that you can do. So you need to be actively prospecting. So it's not so much just connecting with people, but you need to be actively prospecting. Okay, so yes, the post gives you some visibility, okay, which is good. Yeah, so you want to post consistently. Does not mean every day, but while we're having this coaching, at least we're pushing each other, and you can see, this guy's posting, Sherin is posting early in the morning. Then I feel like, okay, I got to post as well. So it creates that kind of environment, which is good. We're pushing each other. But later on your own, you want to be also conscious that it's not about posting every day. Good if you can do it every day, but prospecting is a necessary thing in business.
So when you say prospecting, of course, I have different opinion, different view about this than you are. Different interpretations on LinkedIn. It would mean, for example, I am adding in some points, post something, and along that line, let flow in about the mind and tell them about my upcoming training, blah, blah, blah. Something along that line?
Yeah, can. Why not? Why not?
Because I saw some people that I do know was quite amazing. They just plainly wrote in their profile, hey, that's the new services I'm offering. They put 10 points out there.
Yes.
And they suddenly got 40 different comments. And they're like, for you, I post one beautiful picture and I get maybe 5 comments.
Yeah.
3 of those is from you guys.
Yeah.
And then you comments.
Yeah, so you can experiment. Yeah, you can experiment. Yeah.
About that,
yeah. So it's really about going out there and experimenting and see what works for you.
True.
Right? So until you actually test it out, you wouldn't know. until you actually, respond or reach out to those people who look at your profile, you will never know. I mean, it's just somebody looking at your profile and that's it. You put a full stop to it. So you might as well start the conversation and lead it somewhere. Right?
So it could actually be that we are creating an entry somewhere and track the types of posts we are doing. I mean, it would be really, really tedious now, but let's say we are creating a friendly post, kind of normal post, how many reactions, creating a business post, plain promotion, how many reactions, how many comments, how many reactions we have.
You can keep track of that, right? Yeah. So you can see two ways. One, you can actually see the views, and the number of likes and all that. Okay, so there's two, on the photo, and then you can look at the comments as well. So there are many ways to track. So you can track the data in terms of whether you're active or not. You can track how many people look at your profile or not. So there are many ways depending on how you want to navigate the system. But I think what's more important is we have to take initiative of this tool that we have in front of us. Right? So for example, let me share with you my screen. Share with you my screen for a while.
Right now, is it only me or is it everywhere?
Okay, so that's my
slow.
Okay, so that's my feed today. Okay,
got it.
So
lagging. Okay.
You can see?
Back to normal, yeah.
Okay, so this is my screen. So suddenly Isaiah came up. Okay, so he says that job way ahead of schedule. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Very good. So he doesn't have a comment. So later I'll comment because this was one of the guy whom I coach, and this was one of the leads that he got through LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm gonna make a comment later. Okay, so that's one. So that's Osama. Okay, I've also connected with him. Okay, so he have done a variety of video as well. So I'm gonna comment on his post later. So that's Faizal. That's Liza. Coming up. Not coming up lah. Quite prominent influencer now.
Oh, I'm also connected to her recently.
So I've actually spoken to her, and we're planning to do some work together.
Awesome.
So these are some of the posts that came up. Okay, so I can look at all this and actually connect with new people. CEO. So later I'll comment on this. Okay. So that's one. What I want to show you is, for example, my post recently. Okay. For example, if you remember this post. Okay, if you remember this post. So this post was a video I made. You remember the post we did at the class?
Yeah, this one, no?
No, the picture that I took in class.
Oh, that nice one, that funny one, isn't it?
This one?
That one, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the one that I showed in class, the one that we mimicked this particular photo? Remember?
Yeah.
That one had how many views?
Cannot remember.
It was about 2,000.
Okay.
So this one had 3,000 views. Okay. So if I look at the stats, I can see some of the people looking at my knee. And 148 people is at executive director level. Okay, salesperson 130, business strategy 74. So I'm somewhat, connecting with the right people, and they are looking at my post. Okay, so that means I'm somewhat putting up the right kind of photos that they, are looking at and all that. Yeah. So that's what I can see from this post. So it definitely shows that my posts or my views are now higher as compared to before. Yeah. and I'm able to reach out and connect to the right, kind of people that I eventually want to talk to. Yes, I don't know exactly who they are, but as long as it's within your target group, okay, so you can have a feel that, okay, my posts are in the right direction and all that. Yeah. So that's one thing that you can do. Look at your own review. So like exactly what Andreas mentioned earlier. Yeah. Also in the group, okay, also in the group, later you can have a look at it. I've added this particular post. It's basically an article. Okay, one is an article by LinkedIn itself. Okay, it lists out some of the top influencers around the world for 2019. Okay, and the other one is a guy also I follow. This guy Fabio is a very nice chap. I've connected with him on LinkedIn. We had a chat, and he comes up with very fun articles. Okay, because Sherin, you've written an article, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is not the ordinary type of article. He took actually a movie from The Incredibles. He actually changed the look and feel of the cartoons, to turn it into like with the LinkedIn Incredible, and actually wrote about learnings that he took from that movie. So this is also another example how you can repurpose things. Not just repurpose contents from other people, but you can look at a movie and you can actually draw out learnings from it and create an article out of it. Yeah. So things like this creates a lot more variety, and it gives a nice twist to a plain story or a story that we have seen. You give a nice twist to it as well. Yeah. So I've shared that in the group, so later you guys can have a look at it, just as reference. Feel free to follow any of those influencers, connect with them, see what you can explore with those people. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share as well. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to ask?
Sherin, you ask.
I don't have a bag of questions, but I do have one question. Why is Derrick hiding? He's hiding. There he is.
Derrick is in the gym. Just finished my workout.
Okay.
So I want to show you hot body, is it?
Yeah,
that's why
show
I need
the
the gym.
sweaty and
That's why I need the gym. Okay, guys.
Okay. So another thing I wanted to, since Derrick is here, so another thing that I wanted to talk about is the COVID virus. I think a few people have already been talking about this. And I think some people are already beginning to realize that perhaps you want to put some content on video format as well. Amien was talking about it, that he had a meeting. So now the meetings can be turned online. And Andreas, you were talking about doing preview. Sherin asked you about doing preview. So perhaps, an opportunity is also to do previews online. Yeah. I am talking to Derrick in terms of how to actually design. Pardon?
Continue, sorry, never mind.
Okay, so I wanted
You're talking to Derrick about?
Doing some stuff online as well. So perhaps, so I just want to, did all of you see this post or not? The one I post about Guy Kawasaki.
Yeah, you showed it during the class, I think.
I showed during the class?
Or last week, I think.
Okay, so he did a live on LinkedIn.
Last week or during the class, yeah.
Okay, he did a live on LinkedIn, and he is asking people to go and look at his, listen to his podcast. which is on Spotify and the other platforms. And he also offers his own programs and asking him to speak and all that. So that's also somewhat of a funnel or getting people, getting the right people to come and view whatever you are sharing online and then leading them to someplace else. Yeah. So that's why you need to be able to design, something. You have to design and offer. Yeah. You have to design and offer if you want to do that. Yeah. So for example, like mine also this week. So my number of views also came down. Okay, so my number of views came down to 30 views. That's down by 58% by last week. Okay, because I'm busy doing something else. But I could see some new people looking at my profile. Okay, yeah, I also get that people who wants to remain anonymous. Okay.
Oh yeah, like the ones we are watching.
University professor in professional training and coaching. I wonder who that is. Executive director in renewable environment industry. Okay, fine. But I could also see some familiar faces. Nini, came back and to look at my profile. Maybe she wants to learn something. Penelope
Andreas has been stalking you.
Penelope came back after connecting. I see that she's looking at my profile again. She's the HR at Mbank. Eddie came back. Sherin came back. So obviously, you're creating somewhat of a presence there, right? So this is something that you.
Who's that Kelvin Yuan? He seems to be appearing everywhere on everyone's profile.
Yeah, he wants to learn the long cut lah, not shortcut, long cut.
But don't want to pay.
Long cut lah, long cut.
He will come, he will comment, and I'm wondering, do I know this guy? So I thought I wanted to ask Andreas because he's also on Andreas' profile, and I see him looking at yours too. He's everywhere.
Who's that? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Kelvin Yuan.
Oh, okay, yeah. He was, I think, in the preview, wasn't he?
Yeah. This guy also came. So like I told you, I will interact with them. For those people who came, I will actually send them a message, say thank you to them and all that. Yeah. So okay.
The guy's name is new.
A question for you guys. Honestly, if you look at my profile, if you just look at my profile, okay, will you be able to learn something?
Maybe a bit.
Maybe a bit, right? But in the class, would you say that you have learned so much more things that you cannot see just looking at the profile?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
The part that was the best was because we got to do it there and then, and you can comment on it straight away. So that was the best part.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're just going to give a class and just talk, I think like half a day pun cukup. But the best is because we do it all together.
And if I were to look into a profile and say this profile nice, this profile not so nice, I wouldn't get the feedback from you or from Derrick, for example. Am I on the right track or not? I would not know what to look out for.
Yeah.
And I would not know also what was part of the class as well, how to connect with people, when to sell or not to sell, when to prospect, when not to prospect, how to follow up, how to stalk in a nice manner, all that stuff. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to.
Okay, so here's my question. So which one is really more valuable for you as a business owner? Just the profile part, or actually, you covering your story and knowing how to connect with people and knowing how to start conversation and continue a conversation?
The second part.
I think both. You go ahead first, Sherin. You go ahead and say what you want to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the first part is really building the platform. Once you build a platform, like I realized, like Renuka, she could build the platform on her own. But then, how about connecting and what to say, what's next, what to do, prospecting? those are all something you cannot really learn on your own.
Okay, all right. It's not that something you don't know. Probably it's just somebody highlighting to you and just showing you that, hey, this is how we do it, right? And after that, so it's something that you can refine and work on, and it becomes a skill. It becomes your knowledge and skill that you can continue doing, whether on LinkedIn, whether face to face, or whether if ever a new platform comes up.
I think you had 3 phases, which I really appreciate very much. The first phase was, or 4 phases actually. The first phase was just the basic profile first, creating this one. Secondly was reaching out to people. But then you and Derrick together, also Amien along that line, really challenging us on our profile to make it stand out. Not just be somebody like anybody else, but how to create our personal story, which I think is very tremendous along that line, which makes you very different from other LinkedIn classes, I believe. And now the last phase here, this personal interaction via the Zoom calls, is about tracking our successes, answering questions, because after any normal training, there are always, I apply what I've learned, but am I still on the right track?
Yeah.
So that is, I think, the 4th phase, which is incredibly important as well.
All right. Thank you very much for putting that into a nice 4-step frame. So again, as people see our profiles and all that, somebody like Kelvin, and whoever and all that, they think that it's just the profile. So the profile, if I were to break down the four levels of what Andreas mentioned, is only 25%. Right? There's 75% that people don't know.
That's what you, I think, should put in a promotional message somewhere along that line.
Okay, I mean, take note of that. So people are missing out because they don't want to invest in themselves. So you come to class once, the skill stays with you forever. And I don't charge you any commission for any business that you get, right? Maybe I should. So that is basically what you are really getting, because to me, what's more valuable is the skill of prospecting, of continuing the conversation and all that. Yeah, because that will lead you to places that you would never imagine.
I think you mentioned, sorry, you have mentioned something right now, no commission, which I think is fine. But I think is a fair part along that line would be that you could flow into any of the Zoom calls and follow-up classes, that if somebody gets business from the class based on your teachings, to write you a testimonial, a video testimonial around this one. Following this class, I increased my revenue by 30%, blah, 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 whatever.
Yes.
I
would love to have that. Thank you very much for putting that in. I think that's what I want to actually request later on. Yeah. So that's why it's also my results. If I can help you get results and all that, then you also become my result. Yeah. Because I sometimes feel I don't want to show you my messages already because I am beginning to send messages to people that I think I should be a bit more private about, so maybe I gotta be a bit more selective in the
screenshots.
In the screenshots, and I think you will do the same because you can get really personal on some of the messages, and I mean, to me, it really gives me a good chance, because you see, I've got 6,000 connections, right? I've got 6,000 connections. Okay. And some of other people's profile are a lot better than me. Okay. But I have not gotten people who communicate with me the way I communicate with other people. So what does that tell me?
You're 1 in 1,000.
Yeah. So if we can maintain that and, build relationships and all that, I'm sure people will want to connect with us, will want to work with us, because we ourselves are making ourselves stand out very differently. not just for the purposes of getting business, but also for the purposes of us really building rapport, and building our relationship. And I think that's key lah. At the end of the day, I think that's key. You might not get business today, not next year, but you stay in touch. Maybe 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, they give you a $1 million contract. Hey, why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So really that's key lah. That's really key. So it's not so much in, hey Derrick. So as I see Derrick appear here, so I think what you want to take note of is continue building that relationship, and also consider doing some work online, whether it's sharing about some of your work, maybe exploring doing a simple call to action, or even a full-blown preview. There are already a lot of people doing it. So it's something that I want to highlight because it's becoming so apparent with the COVID thing, and with the platform like LinkedIn, LinkedIn already have live, LinkedIn already have video, with Zoom and all that. I think a lot of things you can do online. So it's something to really consider this year. Yeah. So, okay. So, any other question? We're coming close to time. Any other question?
Are we on this coaching every Friday at 4?
Yes. Next week we'll have one final coaching before we do actual meetup, just to have a closure.
When is the meetup? Because we were supposed to confirm it, right?
Yeah,
Depending.
I think some of you are not here, so we'll find a date. We'll find a date where at least majority of people can be there, lah.
Yeah, Andreas don't come. It's okay.
I know.
Are you going to London? You better not.
We're flying via London, but right now we are thinking heavily if we should go or not overall.
You shouldn't.
Don't.
I give you the verdict. No.
You see, my mom is 95, and her health is going down badly. So I want to take every opportunity to meet her. And she really be a kind of the energy boost to see us, to her, basically speaking. So I don't want to cancel it and say, hey, we're coming next year or whatever it is. So that's why I try everything possible.
If it's for your mommy, please go.
Hey, Andreas.
Yes.
Explore putting your mom on Zoom call and see what she says.
She is not even on the internet, okay? She hates it.
Get somebody to assist her. Get somebody to assist her. Give her the video call. Just let her experience that.
Well, I know when she's visiting my sister, we always have the video call, but she doesn't want to have it at home.
Andreas, I'm going to share with you about one of our mentors, Sujimi. So Sujimi is a very successful influencer in Singapore. He started his Facebook video channel, I think about a few years back. One day, he decided to feature his mom sitting side by side next to him. And his mom is now a social media influencer.
Oh, wow.
You never know what might happen.
I'm talking about someone who started not knowing technology and all that. She becomes so famous because she's giving advice for the Malay target market. And Quartz members actually go to her house to sponsor her whole entire house, kitchen.
Wow. Send me the link if you can. It would be great. I want to check that out.
I'll send a link. It's quite interesting how he does it. The thing about us is that sometimes here's some of the patterns that I notice in LinkedIn when it comes to content creation. A lot of the influencers or people who wants to be an influencer, they are very, in a way, they are too professional in the way they tell their stories. So you can't connect. You can sense that they are trying to sell you something. Right? A lot of the times when it comes to content, you want to be a little bit more human, right? So when it's more human, people will be like, okay, you know what, I want to connect. Okay, so you never know, you know. Try your mom and talk to her about personal growth. How did she manage you when you were younger?
Oh,
Maybe,
maybe you would never understand that because you can't speak English. It would be in German.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can translate it because for some people, you can have a subtitle down there.
I know.
Yeah. You can make it work. I'll send you the link. Yeah.
Let's give Andreas a challenge. If you do make that trip back, do a video with your mom.
I definitely would be interested. I think she would run away.
So it doesn't have to be a long video.
You haven't met my mom. She's more stubborn than me.
Just say, this is just to say hello from Germany with my mom, because my friends in Malaysia would love to hear your voice and be able to, see
I might. I have friends on my Facebook Live. I had friends on it. Yeah. I might just grab her and put her on.
You don't have to point the camera at her. You can always put the camera somewhere and have a chat with her.
True.
Derrick is good at this, point the camera elsewhere, just put it there, just casually speak to her.
True. Find a way.
All right.
So Al, your wrap up session, would it be the last week where you are having your LinkedIn class that week? What's the plan for?
Yeah, I'm planning to do it that way, so they can come back and also share with the class.
I will be there that last week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
yeah, it will be good if we can do it on the last day. Maybe we can have dinner together, and tell the class that you can have a chat with the graduates as well, and maybe a brief sharing from you guys. That'd be great. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, maybe we can put it out in the group to get them to block that time also.
Yeah.
I think also it's important to put in the group that the coaching session in advance. So those who really want to, I also didn't know there was coaching session today. I was going to ask actually when is the next coaching.
It was in the group actually, guys.
Yes.
Every week.
Yes.
Thank you.
Was there? I just saw.
Yes.
Then where are the other half of the people? I mean,
we are the elite. La.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, there's so much we can do only, right? We can bring people to the water, but we can't force them to drink. So
right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Al, what you want, if you bring us in to the new students, then maybe we can say something, if you allow us, about the coaching, how important it is overall.
That'd be great if you that'd be great. I would appreciate you doing that. So let's I know there's only a few of us here, but let's work towards doing it on the same day.
Let's block their dates for Sherin. Can you make it first before we even go on? And Andreas, you're overseas, right? How's that?
I'm flying off, I think, on the 28th, I think.
Al, when's your class again?
It's 20.
Today.
When is it? I mean, let me see. It's 28, 29.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah, you fly off that. I remember you were flying, Andreas.
28 or 29. I wouldn't be able. I think 29 in the morning time I fly off.
Right.
That was perfect.
Yeah, you can pop by 28 if you want, but we are fixing it on the 29 night, right, Al? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I would be out.
So if you guys can come in maybe towards the evening, then we can do a little bit of sharing before we break up for dinner. I will tell them also that we will have dinner together.
Yeah. So Sherin, can you do it? Can you make?
Night, right?
Yeah.
Let's say 4 onwards, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 onwards.
That's on the 28th now or the 29th, Derrick?
29. So the last day of the class. But if you're flying off, Andreas, and if you want to come in on the first day to pop by and stuff, I leave that to Al to see whether that's, but that maybe you can discuss with Al.
Yeah, sure. I do. I'll reach out to you.
Yeah. So Sherin, you lock your dates down, yeah?
Let us know your final details of your flight, and then we can figure out some arrangement. I would really love for you to come in and just share with the class, your experience and all that. That would really,
Thanks,
get them to also be able to see and appreciate what they are getting, from the group. Yeah.
More than happy to do.
All right. Okay. So 10 minutes to go. Share with me some of your takeaways this evening, and what's your plan next week?
Andreas?
Ladies first, always ladies first. I'm a very well-educated
you
guy,
guys.
okay?
You guys.
Come on.
Okay. For me, today's coaching session was a good one because honestly, I forgot about connecting with other people through commenting on their post. I totally slipped my mind, so I'm going to do that. So it's always been focused on, oh no, I have to write. So that was a good learning for today. And what am I going to do for next week? Wait until next week comes up. I actually have.
Next week is starting today, because over the weekend you can do a lot of stuff planning for next week.
Actually, I had a whole Word document where I wrote what I wanted to do and then it disappeared. Because I was trying to get rid of some things and I oversaved that on the one that had a lot already. So it got me very demotivated yesterday. Actually, a lot of things were going wrong yesterday. So, but anyway, I have a bit of things to write.
One thing that you want to do on LinkedIn. One thing. What's your plan next week? If you could do one thing, what?
Video. Since you've been mentioning videos are going to be important, so. Video. In fact, this week I was planning to write on doing meetings and trainings through video conferencing.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have been doing and as we are doing, I've been taking photo. If you notice, I also took one photo here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's my content now for next week.
Okay, good. All right.
So before we leave,
so I'm just going to jump in
so that I can take one nice picture. Okay.
So just gonna interrupt here again. And so what have you learned in the last 2 days with regard to postings, Sherin?
when I'm down and out, I find for Derrick.
Yeah, sure. That would be, I charge per minute, per word next time. But beyond that, what have you learned?
What have I learned? That the community is so important.
Okay, but beyond that, what have you learned? But beyond that, what have you learned? Sorry?
Stop dieting.
No, but what have you learned with regard to content and posting?
Okay. So whatever you're going through daily also, it can be a post. Just put your heart into it and it will come out as a post.
Right? Because Al says, remember, just keep it human. Sorry, Amien said that, right? Keep it human, right? Keep it real. Keep it real. Yeah. Everything you go through is a story. That's your story.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's true. In fact,
so next time you don't.
Sorry?
So next time you don't need to find Derrick anymore. You would know what to do. Because the aim of this coaching at the end of the day, right, Al? Yes. We want to build this accountability support group. We do not want to build hand-holding.
Correct.
Right? Because we want you guys to be independent, right? Yes. But that's where the support, the community comes in. Yeah. But beyond that, we want you to be on your own. So
correct.
Next time you know how to do this.
Yes.
Sorry, go for it.
Yeah. So it's not, so content can be very fluid and natural, and also connecting with people, so sometimes you want to have a balance of that as well. It's not just about your content every time, but it's also about engaging with other people, to show, to have an image that you are also supporting other people's content. Yeah. But be authentic about it lah. Like if you're doing just for the sake of doing, it also comes out not natural lah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sherin. Andreas.
Yes.
So your takeaway this evening and something you're gonna do next week.
Be friendly while prospecting. basically what Amien was mentioning, and slowly start to think about how do I just get away from just a general nice friendly chat. Facebook chat on LinkedIn doesn't work, but how to keep it in a manner that it channels into businesses. Keep tracking. What are you doing? Keep tracking my dashboard overall to really create something like a tracker. What kind of posts creates the biggest feedback overall, or the greatest resonance overall? And yeah, maybe I have to really, I haven't created any video, or I think only 1 or 2 this year. I have to start thinking about maybe what Amien was mentioning in the training. Actually, I realized last year I had about over 150 or 100 videos overall. Start repurposing them, gotta get through it, cut out certain pieces and start putting them on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah. So you don't have to create new ones. You already have things on Facebook which you can really, you can also repurpose.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
All right. Okay,
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
So hope to see more videos about you.
Yeah. I just want to jump in here, just to wrap before we wrap up to Al. We have not discussed this, Al, but I'm going to make this offer to Sherin and Andreas. If you guys are interested next week, Al and myself, we're running a mastermind with the media branding class, our media branding circle group that we have, right? And it's a 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And what we are doing is a really highly implementation mastermind where, one, we help everyone in the group create their ebook. And an ebook might sound scary, but it's essentially a lead magnet. Essentially, it is a 3-pager, a 5-pager. It could be 10 tips to how to walk better, sleep better, breathe better. It could be 3 things that, about languaging to influence and to network or something like that, right? So it's very simple, some stuff like that. Why is this important? Because this is a lead magnet. Okay, sorry, let me share the big context and intention, because the idea is to help our circle members take their business online, because with this COVID virus, and we know it is going to stay, in fact, it's going to get even worse, right? So how can we help them take their business online? So that's the whole aim of the mastermind. So the ebook is important because it's going to be a lead magnet. It's going to be a conversation starter. So you connect on LinkedIn and say, hey, if you introduce yourself as however you want to introduce yourself, I'm not sure, Andreas, but say you do an NLP, and here's an ebook that I've written. You might want to, to add value to you, stuff like that. So it's a great conversation starter and a great tool to establish authority and trust, right? To establish trust. So that's the first thing we're going to help them create. The second thing is we have a website designer in our circle. So we're helping them either create their website or recraft and reword the website to convert, to design it to sell. Because now taking the business online, your website is very, very important. So if you have a website, it is now diagnosing your website and helping you create a website designed to sell, right? Sherin, you went for the class before, you know the 9 P's of building the website. I don't know whether you have done that, but more so even now when we take the business online, your website needs to be designed to sell, right? The third thing is I'm going to be sharing with them how they can take the business online through video. So having a video training course. So Andreas, whether you want to do a preview online, a webinar online, or even your course online, obviously not the full course because you have 10 days and everything else, but can you take certain things online and also sell that, automate it, and go international so that you are not just selling in Malaysia, you can sell worldwide. So these are the few things that we're going to cover. Now, these are exclusive for the circle members, but because you guys are also part of the LinkedIn group and Popcorn group, I will not work with you specifically, but I would like to invite you guys to come in as a fly on the wall, meaning to say you can sit in and take all the notes and create everything, but there's an investment. It is very, 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 very reasonable. It's just to cover costs. It is 300 for that 3 days, just to cover costs, right? So you can speak to us or text us or text L or whatever, but I thought, since we are talking about how to bring your business online, this is something that we are doing very specifically for our circle members, and we just want to extend that for you guys. If you guys want to come in as a fly on the wall, please feel free. You may not be able to make every day. That's fine. Whichever day that you want to come in and pop by, it's going to be valuable for you. And it is very crucial that right now you want to think about how you can transit online, because if not, yeah, we know it's not going to be any better. Okay,
Yep.
so over to you, Al.
Yeah.
What days again? Sorry.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you send me the
10 to
program? Do you have a
10.
program or something?
No program, because these are the three things we are it is a highly implementation workshop, exactly like what you guys said. We're not talking theory here, we're getting the work done. So we will hold, well, no, I don't want to hold hands, but we will really just push them to really get things done. We have a few people, and we have created a very interesting dynamic. So Sherin, you know all these people, you know Manchong. Manchong is very good in writing. So he is going to help the group with their ebook. Of course, not writing it, but advising and stuff like that. Aslan is a web designer. He is going to assist them on the website aspect. I'm going to help them craft the story and talk about how you can take your business on digital. So we're really leveraging on each other's strength to grow as a group to take the business online. So it's going to be very, very valuable. If you're interested, just speak to Al and then see how we can make this happen. Okay? Yeah. Al,
thanks, Derrick, for putting that in. So that's going to be my content next week. So as we go through the days, I'm going to start posting and maybe create some videos also to basically preempt, people out there that this is what we're doing at the next level as well, to be able to put things online. So that's my content for next week. Amien, anything to add in before we end the session? Anything to say?
The basic principle on rapport building that you guys, I think for both of you, because both of you are trainers as well, is still the same, right? It's all about the rapport building connections and all that. So sometimes, right, L may have a different style of connecting and you guys have a different style of connecting. You will get your own people that will connect to you, right? Sherin, what if you take a look at your circle, right? What kind of people can engage with you? You take a look at it. HR, right? But when you are connecting with them, because I've seen how you connect with HR people, right? It's very friendly tone. It's very, it's your style, right? The way you connect and the way I connect with HR is totally different thing. Right? I'm more straightforward, direct to the point. You are very friendly, the cheerful person. That's you. So continue doing that. That you just have to remember this, that whatever platform that you are in, either you are in LinkedIn, you are Facebook, or whatever it is, those platforms are just mechanics and tools. Right? The main point and idea is at the end of the day, you just need to find a way to connect like a human being. That's it.
Be yourself, be your style, don't fake it. Otherwise, if you fake it online and you meet the person in person and they realize you are different, you break the rapport instantly again.
Exactly.
And they buy you because they experienced something of you before.
Correct.
I mean, Andreas, I could have chosen Billy over you.
I know,
yeah. And I told you this before. The reason why I choose you is because I don't want to have another trainer superstar there. I want someone who can focus on me as a trainer, as a participant. So that's your strength. So maybe what you want to focus on when you are connecting. A script is a script. Template is a template. But if you were to connect to people, what's your style? Right?
Yeah.
Knowing that people are asking questions, be interested, be curious.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Then people can smell you. People can smell if this posting.
Who's the computer? Oh my God!
Yeah, they can. This interesting part. They can smell you. The whole senses. It's just a gut feel.
I get that. Yeah, I get that what you're saying. Yeah.
So true. Maybe sometimes rather than thinking about the mechanics of it, it's going back to just be here.
Yeah.
Don't fake it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The easiest way.
Thank you, Amien, for putting that in. Yes, I think that's absolutely true. So I shared with you mechanics, scripts, but at the end of the day, it's really about making it true for you. And I think at the end of the day, it's also about you enjoying doing the stuff. You really want to connect with people because you like people. You want to meet new people. You want to explore possibilities and all that. And you gotta enjoy doing prospecting, because if not, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. You want to develop your business and all that, because the truth is, our network, people who buy from us are not our immediate circle. It probably be the second circle. So we need to be out there, reaching out, connecting with people, getting to know them. Let them also get to know a little bit about us. And when it resonates, there's a feel that we can do business together, things will happen.
Yeah. And the most important part in this is that either you like it or not, it has to be consistent. For now.
I know. So we got a lot of business from Facebook at the time.
Yeah. The more you put in, the more people will start to notice you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right. So thank you guys. Thank you for taking time out to be with me on the call. Appreciate all of you. So all the best for next week. Take time over the weekend to plan out some stuff, and hope to see some of your postings out there. And we'll stay in touch in the group, and I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Bye.
Bye.